Yes, God. And that is so true. This is how I fight my battles. That's the way I do it. I'm going to shake things up this morning. And I'm going to preach to you guys. I was reading this morning in my daily devotion, and I got a hold of a verse. And like most people with anxiety, you mull over things. So I choose to mull over a verse. And so I was getting ready this morning, and I was meditating on that verse and meditating on that verse. And that verse is 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 3. And it was, His divine power has given us everything required for life and godliness through the knowledge of Him who called us by His own glory and goodness. And as I mulled over it, that brought me to Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10. It says, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe.
Yes. Amen.
And so I started meditating on that this morning. Of okay, God, that's what you want me to share. But what do you want me to say about that? And He started downloading all of this stuff, and I thought I was sitting there and I was brushing my teeth, and I thought, oh Lord, I can't share that in 5 minutes. I got 5 minutes. And so I hollered for Joey, and I was like, I have to take service from you today. And so we talked about it, and he was like, okay. But as I was standing there getting ready this morning and mulling over the scriptures, I heard the Lord say, I've got your back. I've got your back. And that brought up in me a saying that I hear a lot, because Joey and I have a lot of friends that are in law enforcement. And their phrase always is, I've got your six. Which means I've got your back. And it got me to thinking about that brotherhood. That they go out every day. And they're able to face the dangers that they face every day, because they know that they've got an army of brothers and sisters behind them that gives them strength. And God said, you've got me. You've got my army. All you've got to do is run to me. He said, but you've got to run to me the right way. We as Christians, I was kind of like, okay, run to you the right way. Like, how is the right way? And he said, a lot of Christians want to run to me like the cartoon characters. You know, you've always got, and I said, okay, and he brought me back to the old Looney Tunes cartoons, where you've always got the little dog and the big dog. And the little dog is always the scrappy one, always wanting to start stuff. But if you ever notice in the cartoons, he starts the stuff while he stands behind the big dog.
Amen.
And God said, you know, that's what we as Christians want to do. We want to talk the talk, and we want to walk the walk, but we want to do it while we stand behind Him, you know? And when trouble comes, we want to hide, you know? Because immediately when the other dog or whatever it was bucked up to him, what was the first thing that dog always did? He always ducked, you know? And God said, it's okay to do that from time to time. You know, the word says, my name is a strong tower. The righteous run into it. He said, when we see tower, we want to see Rapunzel's tower. We can go and we can get locked away. And God said, that's not what I'm meant for. He said, what you need to see is a silo. And I said, okay. He said, a silo holds the blessings of a harvest that has been reaped. He said, every day when you walk in service to me, you reap a harvest of a blessing. He said, that silo is a strong tower. It keeps the storms out, protects the blessings from being infested by pests who come to steal it, to destroy it. And he said, that's what you need to do. He said, in your time of battle, you need to run to me for provision. Not to lock out the world and go, I don't have to deal with that. God's got it. I'm just going to stay here and hide. But no, you go in to the tower. You get your rest. You get your strength.
Amen.
And then you come out.
Yes.
He said, we're meant to be a tag team. He said, that's what my tower is. My tower, a tag team. Like wrestling. You know, for the guys that watch wrestling, you know, you tag team. When you get wore out, you go to the corner. You tag somebody else and you let them in. Well, you don't just walk off
No.
and say, I'm done for the day. I'm going to go locker room. I'm going to go get showered, cleaned up, and I'm going to leave. No. You sit in that corner and you get rest. And you gain the provision that you need to then turn around and get back in the fight.
Right.
He said, that's the tower that I'm at. That's what I'm meant to be. And he said, there's going to be storms that come your way.
Oh, yes.
He said, the storms aren't there to deter you. They're not there to bring you down. They're not there for you to get mad at me. He said, storms are like when you build a house. You build a house on a sunny day, everything looks great. Right? But you need that storm to come so that you can see where the weaknesses are. You need that storm to test that structure, to find out where it leaks, to find out where it's weak when the wind hits it. Because when the storm is over, you know where your weaknesses are. And then you can turn right around and reinforce those to be a stronger shelter. And he said, that's what I've called you guys to be. We're carriers of the next generation. As saints, as disciples, we're actually called to be somebody else's silo. The problem is we're all walking around like umbrellas. And when a hurricane comes, an umbrella is not going to be much help. It'll keep you dry for a little bit. But when the tests really come, you're not any help. So God said there's going to be tests. There's going to be storms. He said, but run to me. But don't run to me and hide. He said, because that's not what I'm wanting you to be. I'm wanting you to be a warrior. Because there's going to be a day where I'm coming back and I'm going to need you to be that warrior. I'm going to need you to stand up. I'm going to need you to square your shoulders. And I'm going to need you to fight. I'm going to need you to be the Gideon that's holding the torch and not the Gideon that is hiding behind
The threshing floor.
the threat. Yes. And so we're called to flesh out His Word,
Yes.
to carry on His work,
Come on. Woo.
not to sit in here on a Sunday morning and get encouraged for the day and sing a couple of little songs and get our feel good, get our Holy Ghost goosebumps, and then go home. I was stuck when I was doing, I'm doing a Bible study, and I was stuck on a question. It's an individual, so it asks you all these personal questions. And I was stuck on this question. I've been stuck on this question for like 3 weeks. And so I sat down with a mentor, and I was like, okay, I'm stuck. And I shouldn't be stuck on this question. And we talked it out. Well, then she sent me a text over the weekend. And it was the story of Tamar. And it was the fact that what she did was done out of desperation. And I was looking at it as it was done out of deceit. It's done out of desperation. And she sent me a quote that pertained to it. And it was, only when we become desperate
Come on.
will we change.
Come on.
And we've got to get desperate to change. God gave me this illustration, and I wish I had time to put it up this morning, but I don't. But I see it all the time, and it's this little black and white striped kitten standing in front of a mud puddle, and this big white tiger behind him. Okay. Well, when the kitten looks into the mud puddle, or into the puddle, what he sees is that reflection of that tiger staring back at him. And what God said is, that's what I want you to get. That's what I want you to see.
Come on.
So many times when we get stuck, we zoom in and overlook the puddle. We cut that part out. We Photoshop that. And what we see is us as little kittens walking around with this great big tiger behind us. And as long as that tiger's behind us, we're okay. But the problem is God's like, it can't always be that way. I can't always be the one fighting the battles. You've got to step up. You've got to see yourself as that tiger. Because like it says in 2 Peter, His divine power has given us everything required. Not a little bit here and a little bit there. Everything required for life and for godliness. Let that sink in for a minute. Godliness. What does that mean? It's time to realize the God-given power that's inside of us. Our perspective needs to change. Our self-talk needs to change. We need to recognize the God-given authority that we carry with us every day. Now, doesn't mean we get to walk around like that little scrappy dog picking fights, because, he's got my back. What that does mean is we have authority to speak things into our lives. We have the authority to speak against things in our life. And we need to take that. We need to step up and quit playing Rapunzel in the tower. Well, I'm just going to sit here and be all pretty. And God's going to take care of it. And that's not the case. It's not the case. Because God called us. That's the second part of that verse. He called us. When you call somebody, you've got a purpose for them. When you call on somebody, you're about to give them a job.
Come on.
Right?
Come on.
Right? I mean, Miss Rita, this weekend, you called on Sydney. You didn't say, oh, just come hang out with me. You had a job, a purpose for her, right? It's the same way with God. God has called each and every one of us. He's got a purpose for us. And He called us by His glory. Think about that. God, in all of His glory, called on us. So this week I encourage you guys, stand up, dust yourself off, square your shoulders, and fight your battle with the authority that God has given you, so that when the time comes, you can be there for somebody else when they're going through a battle. That's what fleshing it out means. God will be your silo. He's calling you to be somebody else's silo. Joe, you want to come close us out? Fight your battles, not just on your knees, but on your feet in worship every day.